Hey everyone! Have you ever stopped to wonder which giant animals roamed the lands of Native Americans thousands of years ago? Get ready to travel into a mysterious world, full of incredible creatures that no longer exist. Let's discover together 7 fascinating animals that made part of the daily lives of these ancient tribes. Come with me on this journey through time and nature. You won't want to miss this incredible story. The story of extinct animals seen by Native Americans reveals not only the diversity and richness of prehistoric fauna, but also the deep connection these people had with the natural environment. When the first European settlers landed in America, around the 15th century, they were amazed by the exuberance and vastness of this new world. This continent was not only home to countless indigenous tribes, each with their own distinct cultures and languages, but it was also home to wildlife that defied imagination. Native Americans, who had been settled in America for thousands of years, had an intimate understanding of the land they walked on. They not only survived, but thrived through in-depth knowledge of the plants that could be cultivated, the techniques for preserving food in different seasons, and the strategies for hunting the animals that shared their territory. This expertise not only sustained their communities, but would also become crucial for newly arrived Europeans who faced an unfamiliar and often hostile environment. The first European colonizers, upon landing on the lands of America, found a vast and diverse continent, populated not only by a myriad of landscapes and climates, but also by a cultural and natural richness that defied their understanding. They soon realized that adaptation would be essential to their survival, and in this challenge, the Native Americans revealed themselves to be not only essential, but true masters of the environment they inhabited. Native Americans, who had already been established in America for millennia, had a deep knowledge of the plants that could be grown in different regions, the techniques for maximizing crop yields, and the natural cycles that governed the availability of resources. This ancestral wisdom not only guaranteed their own subsistence, but also proved crucial for European colonizers who, initially disoriented and helpless in the face of new geographic and climatic conditions, quickly learned from the natives how to take advantage of America's abundant natural resources. Native Americans not only taught colonists how to grow crops adapted to the local soil and climate, but they also shared sophisticated food preservation methods that allowed them to store and preserve large quantities of food throughout the seasons. These techniques were essential to face the challenges of harsh winters or prolonged droughts, ensuring a strategic food reserve that sustained their communities during the most difficult periods. In addition to agriculture, Native Americans were skilled hunters, having in-depth knowledge of the habits and behaviors of native animals. Their hunting techniques were not just limited to capturing prey for food, but also included natural resource conservation strategies, ensuring that animal populations were managed sustainably to prevent resource depletion. While European colonists initially viewed America as a land of challenge and hardship, Native Americans recognized it as a rich and abundant home where knowledge and harmony with nature were essential for survival. They not only shared their practical skills with newcomers, but also imparted a deep understanding of the interconnectedness between all life forms and the importance of respecting and preserving natural balance. This early collaboration between European settlers and Native Americans, although often obscured by the dominant historical narrative, was instrumental in the establishment of the first European settlements in America. The exchange of knowledge and skills not only facilitated the colonists' survival in a strange and challenging environment, but also created a lasting legacy of respect for indigenous wisdom and knowledge that continues to reverberate to the present day. Paleoindians, ancestors of modern Native Americans, crossed into America about 30,000 years ago, at a time when the continent was a vast, unexplored world, dominated by a diversity of animals that today exist only in the fossilized records of history. For these early inhabitants, arrival in America represented not just a migration but an entry into a lush and challenging ecosystem where colossal mammoths, robust mastodons, and a variety of other gigantic creatures dominated the wild landscapes. Mammoths, in particular, were an impressive and constant presence across the vast plains and forests of ancient America. The Columbian mammoth, known for its imposing height and curved tusks, roamed the open grasslands and forested areas, while the woolly mammoth, adapted to colder northern conditions, roamed the icy regions of the continent. These giant herbivores not only shaped the environment around them, but also provided Paleoindians with a vital source of food, shelter, and materials for their tools and clothing. Alongside mammoths, mastodons, with their more robust forms and conical teeth adapted for chewing tough plants, also occupied a prominent position in the American landscape. These relatives of modern elephants thrived in a variety of habitats, from dense forests to riverbanks and swamps, contributing significantly to the complexity and diversity of the ecosystems that Paleoindians encountered when they arrived in America. In addition to mammoths and mastodons, other impressive and now extinct animals completed the prehistoric panorama of America. Among them were the giant ground sloths, whose fossilized remains reveal creatures as large as modern automobiles, and the glyptodont, a giant relative of today's armadillos, equipped with a bony carapace that protected it from the predators of the time. For the Paleoindians, these animals were not only sources of food and essential resources, but also challenges and mysteries to be solved. Their hunting skills and in-depth knowledge of animal behavior not only ensured their survival, but also reflected a deep spiritual and practical connection with the environment around them. As they explored and settled new lands, Paleoindians not only faced the natural challenges presented by these ancient giants, but also shaped their own place within an ever-evolving ecosystem. Thus, the arrival of the Paleoindians in America not only marked the beginning of a human journey across continents and millennia, but also witnessed the fascinating and complex interaction between the first human inhabitants and a fauna that now exists only in archaeological and historical records, leaving a legacy of adaptation, innovation, and respect for the environment that continues to resonate to this day. First, Glyptotherium. Among the fascinating animals that Paleoindians could have encountered is Glyptotherium, a massive mammal that roamed the vast plains and forests of ancient America. This giant herbivore resembled a giant armadillo in appearance, but with dimensions that defied any modern comparison. With an estimated weight of more than 1,100 kilograms, Glyptotherium was equipped with a densely armored bony carapace, composed of osteoderms that offered formidable protection against the predators of the time. Glyptotherium's carapace was not only an impenetrable shield, but also a testament to its evolutionary adaptation for survival. The bony plates that covered its body not only provided a defense against direct attacks, but also gave the animal an imposing and almost invulnerable appearance. This armor, often up to 5 centimeters thick in some areas, was a testament to the evolutionary ingenuity that allowed Glyptotherium to face even the most formidable predators of the time. In addition to its robust defense, Glyptotherium possessed physical characteristics that contributed to its survivability. Its tail, for example, was not just an appendage but a potentially powerful tool. Composed of rings of articulated bones and ending in sharp spikes, Glyptotherium's tail could be used not only for balance and locomotion, but also as a possible defensive weapon against predators such as the big cats and ancient canids that roamed prehistoric landscapes. Glyptotherium's agility, surprisingly, was not compromised by its robust armor. Unlike other animals with heavy carapaces, Glyptotherium's bony plates were often less fused, which allowed a surprising degree of flexibility for an animal of its size. This combination of tough armor and relative flexibility not only increased their chances of survival in a challenging environment, but also highlighted their position as one of the dominant herbivores of ancient America. The presence of Glyptotherium in the lands that Paleoindians explored and inhabited was a constant reminder of the diversity and tenacity of prehistoric life. Its exceptional evolutionary adaptation and role in the ancient ecosystem not only supported predator populations, but also directly influenced the hunting and survival strategies of the human cultures that encountered this gentle giant on their journeys across ancient America. Second, direct wolves, also known as direwolves, represent one of the most impressive figures of Pleistocene megafauna in North America. These towering carnivores, related to modern jackals, not only dominated the continent's vast landscapes, but also played a crucial role as predators in the ecosystem of the time. With their highly developed social structure, direct wolves lived in complex family groups, known as packs, which could include between 12 and 30 individuals. This social organization not only strengthened their ability to hunt large prey and form effective ambush strategies, but also promoted group cohesion and survival in an often challenging environment. Fossilized records at the La Brea tar pits, one of the richest paleontological sites in the world, offer a vivid glimpse into the abundance and success of dire wolves. This evidence reveals that dire wolves were not only common, but outnumbered many other carnivore species found in the same location. The presence of so many fossilized individuals in the tar traps is eloquent testimony to the dire wolves' dominant position in the Pleistocene food chain. Direct wolves' adaptability and hunting abilities were also remarkable. Not only did they hunt in groups, coordinating complex attacks against prey such as bison and other large herbivores, but they also demonstrated an ability to adapt to different environmental conditions throughout their vast geographic range in North America. This suggests not only a natural ability to hunt, but also an ability to take advantage of a variety of available habitats and resources. In addition to their ecological importance, direct wolves played a significant role in the human cultures that coexisted with them. Native Americans, whose lives were inextricably linked to the land and wildlife, often revered direct wolves as symbols of courage, strength, and hunting skill. The legends and myths surrounding these large carnivores reflect not only the respect but also the deep understanding of natural dynamics on the part of the first inhabitants of North America. Thus, direct wolves are not only an example of adaptation and evolutionary success, but they also represent a fundamental piece in the puzzle of the natural history of North America during the Pleistocene. Their presence not only shaped the ecosystem of the time, but also left a lasting legacy in the culture and imagination of the people who shared the continent with these magnificent predators. Third, smilodon, saber-toothed cat, smilodon, or saber-toothed cat, emerges as one of the most iconic and formidable predators of Pleistocene North America. With its impressive elongated canines adapted to piercing and tearing the flesh of large prey like mammoths and mastodons, smilodon was truly a force of nature. Not only did these giant felines rely on their incredible physical strength and powerful jaws to subdue prey, but they also displayed a number of unique adaptations that made them highly specialized hunters. Smilodon's anatomy, with muscular forelimbs and retractable claws, suggests that it was capable of making powerful and precise attacks. Paleontological studies indicate that these felines probably hunted from ambush, taking advantage of the surprise and strength of their canines to take down prey much larger than themselves. This style of hunting required not only physical strength but also exceptional coordination and precision, characteristics that placed smilodon at the top of the Pleistocene food chain. In addition to its impressive physical abilities, smilodon also possessed keen senses, including exceptional night vision and keen hearing. These sensory adaptations not only aided in hunting, allowing them to detect potential prey at considerable distances, but also contributed to their ability to avoid unnecessary confrontations with other equally formidable predators of the time. The relationship between smilodon and prehistoric humans is another fascinating aspect of their story. Although there is no conclusive evidence that smilodon regularly hunted humans, there is speculation that they may have ventured to do so in situations of conflict or opportunity. The encounter between these giant predators and the first inhabitants of North America adds a layer of mystery and intrigue to the narrative of the interaction between humans and megafauna in prehistory. Therefore, smilodon is not only a symbol of power and evolutionary adaptation, but also a testament to the complexity and interdependence of the species that inhabited the American continent during the Pleistocene period. Their commanding presence and unique abilities have left a lasting legacy in natural history, inspiring fascination and continued study by scientists and paleontology enthusiasts to this day. Fourth, short-faced bear, Arctodus. The Arctodus, or short-faced bear, emerges as an impressive and formidable figure from Pleistocene North America. With its imposing size, which could exceed 950 kilograms, this carnivorous and omnivorous giant had unique characteristics that distinguished it among the animals of the time. Its robust and powerful physical structure suggests not only an adaptation to a lifestyle that included a varied diet, but also a prominent role as a predator and competitor in the prehistoric ecosystem. The name short-faced bear refers to the distinctive cranial proportions of Arctodus, which, unlike modern bears, featured a wider, more robust face. This facial feature may have contributed to its bite force and possibly served as an intimidating factor during interactions with other animals, including humans. Their hunting and feeding strategy ranged from smaller prey to larger animals, taking advantage of their dietary versatility to survive in different environmental conditions. The presence of Arctodus in the fossil record reveals not only its adaptability and hunting abilities, but also its role as one of the largest land carnivores of the Pleistocene. Its interaction with other large predators, such as smilodon and the dire wolf, offers valuable insights into the dynamics of competition and survival among megafauna of the time. Arctodus' ability to intimidate smaller predators and even compete for prey with larger competitors, such as smilodon, highlights its position as one of the main apex predators of the period. In addition to its ecological importance, Arctodus also played a significant role in the cultures of the earliest inhabitants of North America. Archaeological evidence indicates that these bears were frequently depicted in artifacts and cave paintings, reflecting their striking presence and the reverence they aroused among indigenous peoples of the time. His majestic and powerful figure echoes to this day, continuing to fascinate scientists and paleontology enthusiasts who explore the mysteries of prehistoric life on the American continent. Fifth, mammoths and mastodons. Mammoths and mastodons emerge as imposing and crucial figures in Native American history, representing not only megafaunal giants but also essential resources for the ancient communities that inhabited the American continent. These proboscideans, like the Columbian mammoth, woolly mammoth, and American mastodon, dominated vast and varied landscapes, offering both challenges and opportunities for America's earliest inhabitants. Mammoths, with their impressive stature and curved tusks, were particularly adapted to survive in varied environments, from open steppes to dense forests. Their meat provided substantial food for native communities, while their thick, tough hides were used for clothing, tents, and other essential utensils. The bones of these animals were used to build tools and structures, demonstrating the ability of Native Americans to extract resources from their natural environments in an efficient and sustainable manner. Likewise, mastodons, although less well known than mammoths, played an equally crucial role in the lives of indigenous communities. With their straight tusks and tooth ridges adapted for a diverse diet, these animals provided nutritious meat and other valuable materials, such as ivory, which was used in the production of decorative artifacts and prestigious tools. Hunting these proboscideans was not just a matter of subsistence, but also of ritual and culture. Archaeological artifacts found at sites across the American continent reveal detailed representations of mammoths and mastodons, indicating their symbolic and spiritual importance to indigenous peoples. These gigantic animals were often depicted in cave paintings and sculptures, demonstrating the respect and reverence accorded them as an integral part of the natural and spiritual world of Native Americans. The interaction between humans and these megafauna also played a significant role in shaping ancient ecosystems. Archaeological evidence suggests that intensive hunting contributed to the gradual decline of these mammoth and mastodon populations, a trend that intensified with the arrival of European settlers and environmental changes associated with human expansion. This complex, intertwined story between humans and extinct animals offers a fascinating window into the deep, multifaceted past of the Americas, highlighting the adaptability and resilience of the indigenous cultures that thrived alongside these magnificent prehistoric creatures. Sixth, Camelops, an extinct giant that roamed the vast lands of the western United States, represents a fascinating facet of the interaction between America's earliest inhabitants and its diverse megafauna. This prehistoric camel, much larger than its modern relatives, skillfully adapted to the arid and semi-arid environments characteristic of North America. With long legs adapted to walking long distances, Camelops could move efficiently in search of pastures and resources. For Native Americans of the time, Camelops was not only a valuable prey for food, but also a source of other essential resources. Their nutritious meat provided sustenance to communities during hunting seasons, while their thick, durable hides were made into clothing, tent coverings, and other artifacts necessary for everyday life. Furthermore, Camelops' bones were used to make tools and utensils, demonstrating the ability of prehistoric inhabitants to utilize all aspects of their prey to meet their varied needs. Hunting and harnessing camelops was not only a pragmatic practice, but also played a crucial role in Native American culture and spirituality. Artistic representations and artifacts found in archaeological sites reveal the symbolic importance of these animals, often portrayed in cave paintings and engravings as symbols of strength, skill, and connection with the natural world. These depictions not only document the presence and importance of camelops in the lives of ancient communities, but also provide precious insights into the complex relationship between humans and megafauna in prehistoric America. As we explore the history of camelops and its interaction with Native Americans, we are reminded of the diversity and adaptability of the indigenous cultures that flourished alongside these impressive creatures. These animals were not only economic resources, but also intrinsic parts of the belief systems and cultural practices of ancient communities, reflecting a deep understanding and respect for the natural world that surrounded them. Seventh, giant beaver, castoroids. The giant beaver, known scientifically as castoroids, was an impressive figure in the ancient aquatic ecosystems of North America. This prehistoric mammal surpassed its modern relatives, contemporary beavers, in size and robustness. With a body structure adapted for aquatic life, castoroids thrived in lake, river, and swamp habitats, where its dam and burrow-building skills were essential to its survival and reproduction. With powerful, elongated incisors, the giant beaver could cut down substantial trees to build complex dam structures that regulated the flow of water around it. These dams not only provided a safe habitat for castoroids and their offspring, but also created aquatic environments conducive to a diversity of other life forms, from fish to waterfowl and insects. Although their direct interactions with humans were limited due to their predominantly aquatic lifestyle and the isolated habitats they preferred, the giant beaver played a significant role in the ecology of ancient American river systems. Their presence influenced the landscape, helping to shape the structure of watercourses and creating ecological niches that benefited other animal and plant species. To the Native Americans of the time, The Castoroids was more than just a useful creature, it was an integral part of the ecosystem that provided important resources. Their thick, tough skins were valued as material for clothing, blankets, and other necessities, while their flesh provided nutritious food in times of scarcity. Furthermore, the bones and teeth of the giant beaver were used to make tools and ornaments, demonstrating the ability of indigenous people to take advantage of all aspects of the natural resources available for their survival and cultural development. As we explore the story of the giant beaver, we are led to contemplate not only its remarkable adaptation and influence on ancient ecosystems, but also the complex and interdependent interaction between humans and the megafauna that inhabited prehistoric America. These creatures have not only shaped the physical environment around them, but have also profoundly influenced the cultures and societies that have flourished over thousands of years on this vast and diverse continent. The extinction of magnificent giant animals in America is a subject that continues to intrigue and provoke heated debate among scientists. The arrival of the first humans on the continent coincided with a period of dramatic changes to the landscape and ecosystems. While some scholars emphasize intensive hunting and human competition for resources as primary factors, others point to climate change and environmental changes as significant causes for the disappearance of these monumental species. To America's earliest inhabitants, megafauna represented not only abundant food sources and valuable resources, but also formidable challenges and respect for their magnitude and power. Mammoths, mastodons, giant sloths, and other impressive animals were an integral part of the ecosystem, shaping not only the physical landscape but also profoundly influencing the cultures and subsistence practices of indigenous peoples. Hunting these giants was not just a matter of survival, but also a reflection of the ability and adaptation of early Americans to face the challenges posed by a new and unpredictable environment. Sophisticated hunting techniques developed over millennia allowed humans to effectively explore and harness natural resources, transforming the ecological landscape as they advanced. However, as human populations grew and hunting technologies became more advanced, the impact on megafauna populations began to become evident. Intensive hunting, combined with ongoing environmental changes, may have played a critical role in the decline and eventual extinction of these iconic species. The exploration of new lands, adaptation to new environments, and the search for additional resources shaped the course of America's ecological history, leaving an indelible mark on the continent's physical landscape and biological diversity. Regardless of the precise reasons behind the extinction of megafauna, the legacy of these animals continues to echo through time, not only as silent testaments to a distant past, but also as powerful reminders of the complex interactions between humans and the environment throughout history. Understanding these past events not only sheds light on the evolution and adaptation of life on Earth, but also challenges us to consider the impact of our present actions on the future of global biodiversity. The history of extinct animals witnessed by Native Americans is not only fascinating, but also reveals deep connections between humans and ancient fauna. These giant creatures, such as towering mammoths, majestic mastodons, and formidable predators like smilodon, were not only part of the natural environment, but also played crucial roles in the lives and cultures of indigenous tribes. Fossils of these animals, discovered throughout the Americas, tell stories of a time when humans and megafauna coexisted, sometimes in harmony and other times in competition. Archaeological artifacts reveal the ability of Native Americans to utilize every part of these animals for sustenance and creating essential tools for survival, from nutritious foods to materials for construction and art. Orally transmitted narratives from native tribes capture not only the grandeur and beauty of these extinct creatures, but also their spiritual and cultural importance. Mammoths, for example, are often depicted in cave paintings and ceremonies, symbolizing strength and abundance. These representations are not just decorative art, but profound reflections of the relationships between humans and the natural world, where respect and reverence for fauna and flora were fundamental to harmonious coexistence. When reflecting on the legacy of these extinct animals, it is impossible not to consider the impact of environmental changes and human interactions on the extinction of these iconic species. Understanding these events not only enriches our knowledge of America's natural history, but also challenges us to think critically about current and future biodiversity conservation. Thus, the story of extinct animals seen by Native Americans is not just a journey through time, but a powerful reminder of the complexity and fragility of the ecosystems that have shaped and continue to shape our world. It is a story of adaptation, coexistence, and, ultimately, loss, which invites us to preserve and protect the biological diversity that remains, honoring the legacy of these majestic inhabitants of the past. Subscribe to our channel to explore more fascinating stories from the natural and cultural history of the Americas, and join us on our mission to learn, preserve, and celebrate our common heritage.